You're watching the Next Level Construction Management Podcast, celebrating unapologetic greatness, proudly promoting meritocracy, and daring to be different by design. Here's your host, Rob Crum, ready to take your construction management performance to the next level.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Next Level Construction Management Podcast, taking your construction management performance to the next level. Very excited about this week's episode. We're going to tie back into last week's episode regarding passive learning and discuss in a little more detail some other ways where some common sense initiative can be taken that, frankly, by and large, I see a huge opportunity for people because it's not taken advantage of most of the time. And like last episode, this topic is going to be very important and beneficial to everyone, whether you're in construction management or not. So let's get this going, explain what I'm talking about next. Okay, now that you understand what I mean when I say passive learning, let's continue discussing that critical component, taking initiative. Now, I'm going to run through a couple scenarios where there is a golden opportunity that just requires some of that basic common sense initiative and a willingness to do what could be perceived as done. All right, ladies, gentlemen, everyone, please hear me out on this. This is such a missed opportunity with this that I am begging you, down on bended knee, please apply this moving forward and tell me if you don't see dramatic results. All right, I'm going to use some examples, but please don't mistake this for just a bitch session because I can assure you it's not. From my end, however people working for me perform, it is what it is. My main focus is on getting the project built correctly the first time. So I don't take this stuff personally. I can adjust to either someone taking that initiative or not. I just know how it stunts their growth professionally when they don't take advantage of this opportunity. So I want to use this podcast as a platform to try to emphasize this point. All right. Now, anyone that's worked for me, they know I am very particular and I take a lot of pride in the setup and specificity of my meeting agenda and packages. Now, setting aside the platforms and opportunities I provide for people working for me to learn and show me their ability to meet this standard, let's assume for the sake of this discussion that I'm still taking the lead on setting up and running the OAC meetings. Given that scenario, I would say about 50% of the time, the PE, APM, younger PM also on the project doesn't even take any meeting notes. Just completely throws in the towel on the task. Now, I'm guessing it's a feeling of, well, I'm not putting it together and running it, so why am I going to take any notes? Honestly, get your ball and go home, right? Okay. Now, maybe to a certain degree, this is understandable, since they can see that I'm taking my own notes, and I'm primarily going to use my notes to generate the final meeting minutes. So, in their minds, why do I need to do it? Okay. Let me answer that question with a question. If your goal and mine is for you to learn how to prepare, set up, and run the OAC meeting, then wouldn't it be beneficial to take your own meeting notes and then do your own meeting minutes? I mean, there is nothing preventing you from taking them. So wouldn't it make sense to do that? And then, as discussed in the last episode, compare your notes to the one I do after the meeting. Shit, I even scan and save my meeting notes, my handwritten notes, in the meeting folder. Okay, and then what? Is there anything preventing you from putting together the meeting agenda and package for the next OAC? Then asking any questions, seeing what things you missed, etc.? Anything other than a lack of initiative and willingness to do it. Anything. I love this clip from Boiler Room with Ben Affleck. I think he says it best. Act as if.
There's an important phrase we use here. I think it's time you all learned it. Act as if. Do you understand what that means? Act as if you are the fucking president of this firm. Act as if you got a 9-inch...
Well, act as if you are the project manager. Act as if it is your responsibility to get these items done. Act as if. Now, the same is going to be true for RFIs. If you don't know how to write the RFI, so your PM ends up putting it together and sending it, go back and look at it. Then try to do it yourself. Then compare your notes to theirs. Grab them, ask for a few minutes, ask some questions. It's going to be much easier to take 5 or 10 minutes for those follow-up questions than it is for 30 minutes or an hour for a full sit-down training. Now, circling back to the OAC meetings. Now, there's a lot of times during these meetings where an RFI might be asked to get sent. maybe a confirming RFI. Maybe the designer says they can't find a submittal that you're showing that you sent them. They ask for that to be resent to them. Maybe another document gets asked to be forwarded. Whatever the case is, take the initiative. When you get back to your office and get back to your desk, draft up that confirming RFI. Send it over to your PM for review. Do you have any idea how awesome this is when it happens? Find that submittal that was being requested. Take care of that too. Do it without being asked or reminded. Act as if. I don't want to have to grab you by the ear. I shouldn't feel like I'm your fucking to-do list. That if I don't remind you of something that needs to get done, that it won't get done. Honestly, at that point, it's probably just easier for me to do it myself. It was said during the meeting that you were sitting at that we would resend that submittal to the architect. It was said that we would send that confirming RFI. It was said that we would do whatever. So take the initiative, step up, and do. Honestly, rarely, if ever, I can't even imagine a scenario where myself or another project manager is going to have an issue if someone gets back from the meeting and starts taking care of all of the items that were discussed. Honestly, quite the opposite is going to happen. You're going to gain so much trust from your PM. As you take that initiative and your competency increases, they're going to feel more comfortable giving you more responsibility. Hey, are you okay if I go ahead and forward this submittal back to the architect? Hell yes. I know we talked about sending a confirming RFI. Well, I went ahead and put it together. Here's the draft. You mind taking a look at it? Let me know if it looks good to send. Holy shit. This is amazing. I went ahead and took my own minutes. Let me know if I missed anything. Let me know what you think. My God, this is my lucky day. I'm going to find a 4-leaf clover, rub it on the head of a midget, do an Irish car bomb, then go buy a lottery ticket. Okay, and then what? Well, here's an and then what for you. Now, we talked about in the last episode how your PM's not always going to have that time to train you, right? Okay. Well, what's going to happen to their schedule and availability as you start to take that initiative and you start to take things off their plate when they don't have to spend time managing you and your to-do list and they don't have to do those tasks themselves? Son of a bitch. Now they have more time to do training. And then you'll be able to do more tasks better, which will allow you to take more initiative, take more off their plate, more time available, probably get promoted quicker. Positive spiral. Now, there's a lot of people that talk a big game. They're going to tell you how much they care. They're going to tell you how much the job means to them, how much the project means to them, that it matters to them. They want to be good at it. Honestly, I could care less about any of that. Now, don't get me wrong. I would rather hear it than not. But at the end of the day, the do is what matters. That being said, do you have any idea how nice it is to see someone getting after it? Taking that initiative that shows you that they care, that shows you that they take the job seriously, that it's more than a job to them, that it's actually something they want to be great at, that it is a profession to them, that I don't have to handhold every single thing they do. Why do I have to ask you to do everything? Well, you didn't ask me to send that RFI. What are you talking about? We're on the same team. We're working on the same project. We were just in the same meeting. Did you not hear the request for it get discussed? What am I missing? I honestly don't know why I have to ask you to do it. Do I have to do a fucking daily meeting where we sit down and go, okay, what are we doing today? Let's look at all the No, this shit just needs to get done. Stop waiting for things. Stop waiting for someone to train you. Stop waiting for someone to ask you to do things. Stop waiting, giving those excuses, waiting, more excuses. Fucking do. Be relentless.
That's it. I'm done.
All right. Another hot episode. Man, another hot ending there. Well, thanks everyone for watching. I know this was a shorter episode today, but I think it was an important topic to touch on, kind of follow up on the last episode. I hope what we talked about today makes sense. If you have any questions, comments, feedback, as always, please send them to comments.nextlevelmanagement@gmail.com. Also, if you could, give the show a follow on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter. Same for all the shows and platforms the show's on, YouTube, Rumble, Spotify. Just search for Next Level Construction Management. Subscribe, follow. Of course, there's no cost. Just helps the show get some additional exposure. And as always, if you could, please, favor, if you could repost and share the reels and videos. Okay, thanks everyone very much. God bless America. And as always, Team GSD, be relentless.
Thank you for watching the Next Level Construction Management Podcast.